What is up, everybody? Stephen Bogorn here, Pro Physique. Today, we want to talk about untracked meals. Alright, everybody. So, one of the things that I've been seeing a lot of with some of my clients lately, and something I've been getting a lot of questions about, is untracked meals. And so, I of course feel very strongly about this as a coach, but let's talk about when untracked meals are acceptable and when they are not acceptable, when you shouldn't be using them. So let's talk about the easy one first. When should you not be having untracked meals? Whenever you are in a dieting phase, you should be tracking the food that you're having. This is one of those times when untracked meals are something that are only going to hinder your progress. Understanding that that's what they're going to do, if you get that, okay. But if you're in a fat loss phase, if you are in a dieting phase, right, and you're having untracked meals, you're no longer accountable to that dieting or that fat loss phase. At the very least, my strong recommendation is estimate those meals and still track them, right? That's going to do a couple things for you that I find are very, very beneficial to the process. First and foremost, it makes you accountable for those meals. Now, our body is still going to be accountable for those meals no matter what happens. If we eat those calories, if they go into our bodies, we are accountable. Our body has those calories at its disposal. It can do with them what it will. But if we do not track them on our phones, right, we can think that we are mentally not having to account for those untracked meals. Here's where the problem lies with that. If we're doing untracked meals or cheat meals or whatever it might be, it is very easy to go over on calories. A normal meal out at a restaurant is easily 1,000 to 1,200 calories. Some restaurants have a little bit like a lighter side menu that's only like probably around 800 calories or so, but it's still a decent amount of food. So if your calories are low in your dieting, it can be very easy to go over, especially say if you have a drink or two on top of that, and then maybe share some dessert or something. Quite easily, you can go a bit over your calories for the day, or your macronutrient goals. So being able to say, alright, I'm going to look at this food, I'm going to estimate it. At the very least, I'm going to know how much I've gone over. Right? So I'm accountable mentally now also to this food that I have eaten. Why is that important? So it's important because it's the way you see those meals can change, right? And then one of the other reasons that it's very, very important is like now you have power over possibly making some changes throughout the rest of your week to still hit your weekly goals. If you have no idea how much you ate or how much you went over, well then we have no idea how much we might need to change macros for the rest of the week to still be overall on our weekly goal and on track. Now, if you're not in a dieting phase, it probably doesn't matter, right? However, one of the other things that this is going to help you do is it's going to help you prepare for that flexible lifestyle later on. And I think this is probably one of the really big ones that a lot of people don't appreciate for being as important as it is. If you're in a improvement season, you don't want to have to track all the time. So becoming very efficient at eyeballing portion sizes and estimating can be very important, right? Especially if you have to travel and eat out and you don't have a lot of control over everything that's going on with your food. So the more practice you get with this, the better you're going to get at it, right? So the more that you see food that's prepared out, right? You know sort of what kind of calories it has. more often than not, protein is kind of low in a lot of dishes that I've seen. And carbs and fats are sort of your main contributors to those meals. And so you can learn to deal with that better, to structure how you order at restaurants better, to structure what you order at restaurants better, and to be able to structure your day around having to deal with maybe that being what's going on in your life. Now, if you're on a very strict diet, say you're on contest prep and you're a month or two out, untracked meals are a big no-go for my clients and competitors. At this point, we have a very set goal. I don't tend to push non-competition preparation clients as hard as my competition preparation clients. But if you're an athlete who is going to get on stage and be judged on it, I want you to be 100% accountable to the process which is going on. If you mess up, we need to know what we're working with, what kind of mess up we're working with, and what might be or what might not be reasonable in order to deal with that. Now, untracked meals, when are they acceptable? Off season, not soon after a comp. So quite often I'm going to say, go out after the 90-day competition, have a good meal, eat what you want, right? One day. After that, we need to be back on plan. So and this is why. When you have been dieting and low calorie and been doing a lot of cardio, your body is primed to store fat. So one untracked meal is not going to kill you, but if you get into the habit of doing this on a regular basis, it is very easy to go up 10, 15 pounds post-show in your body weight, and that's not all muscle. What we want to do post-show is slowly increase calories. We want to reverse diet out of it. We want to minimize fat gain so that we can, hopefully, the goal should always be to maintain a leaner physique than you did before you dieted, and to be able to maintain that physique at previous calorie intakes. So, untracked meals, A-okay when you have been out of a diet for a long period of time, but even then you want to keep them in check. Too many untracked meals can account and turn into too many excess calories, which means unwanted weight gain. And it's as simple as that, guys. That's really all I have to talk about today. Guys, enjoy your Labor Day weekend. I'll be talking to you soon, so until then.